human beings, or maybe you're not a human being. Maybe you are a cat or a dog or anything in between. Anyway, today's subject that comes to mind actually is what I have drawn out of the bucket. Today's topic will be troubleshooting. Now, troubleshooting is a topic that I could go on about for a week as far as tips. I could have a week session of that. I may eventually, but tonight I'm just going to cover the basics. Troubleshooting is where you are trying to solve something that's causing trouble in the computer world. It could be your computer's not turning on, or program's not working right, your printer is not printing, you can't get to the internet, etc., 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 etc. With troubleshooting, some of my thoughts and tips, start with the easy stuff. Don't start with the complicated stuff. Let's take, for example, your computer does not turn on. Okay. So you try to turn on a computer, it won't turn on. Don't just assume right off the bat that means your computer is going to need repaired. Start with the easy stuff. Make sure your computer is plugged in. And if it's plugged into a surge protector, make sure the surge protector is turned on. If you have a laptop and your laptop's not plugged in, maybe plug it in. Maybe your battery's dead. Make sure your battery is seated correctly. Things simple like that. Make sure that the switch on your computer's power supply is turned to on if there is a switch. Try a different power outlet. Try a different power cord. Try all that simple stuff before you go into the complicated mess of taking apart the computer and figuring out what's going on. It can go a lot beyond just that. But a lot of times it's just the simple stuff. Now, another thing that you want to ask yourself with troubleshooting is if a problem shows up, ask yourself, what changed? If your computer started up fine yesterday, but now today it doesn't, what changed? Did you do anything different? Did you install anything? Did you install a new piece of hardware or new software? Ask yourself that. That could very well be your problem. There are sometimes things just don't change and all of a sudden it starts acting up, but a lot of times there's a reason for it acting up, and normally it's because something changed. Another tip is, if you can't figure out the problem, a good tip is use Google or another search engine. But use a search engine / Google or whatever. Learn it, live it, love it. When you have a problem, make sure you make note of many details as possible. Tell everybody the steps that you've taken that's caused this error to come up. Write down the exact error message you're getting or the exact problem you're getting. As many details as you possibly can have to have someone help you troubleshoot it will be great. Will be greatly helpful. And that also will help you when you're doing a search. You know, if you're having a certain error message pop up, you know, type in that error message you're getting in Google search or search engine, whatever you have, and Yahoo, whatever. Anyway, type in that exact message that you're getting into Google, and you'll probably get some hits on it, and you'll probably be able to figure out what the problem is. Or that you'll be able to see that others had the same issue or had the same problem you do, and oftentimes there'll be a forum or something that'll show you how to resolve it. Another thing you can do for troubleshooting if you're having problems and you can't figure it out is news groups or forums, kind of like I just mentioned a moment ago. Go in there to find the right forum for whatever problem you're having. Hold on. Intermission. Yep, it's the Mountain Dew again. But go into the forums, there's the news groups, and find the correct one for your issue, or kind of issue, and put a post up there on it, and the world will help you. It could be anybody from the world. With that, make sure that you are very, very detailed with your troubleshooting or your problems that you're having on those forums. Make sure that you have every detail you can think of. That will, otherwise you might get yelled at for not having enough information. If, say, your computer won't turn on, or, you know, give us more information than that. Tell us what you've checked and already have tried, so we don't have to repeat what you've already tried. And it would narrow down the possibilities of what it could be. If your computer's running real slow, well, tell us what's in your computer. What's the specs of it? How much memory? How big a hard drive? How fast is your processor? Etc., etc., etc. I mean, as much details as you possibly can give. And again, like I said, ask yourself what changed. Let them know if something changed or not, because then they don't have to ask you that. Let's see. Another resource you could use is if somebody else that you think might know more than you do on an issue, or something to that effect, then ask them. They probably can help you, especially if you want to try it. If you're trying it and at least giving it your best shot, you know, ask somebody for help. And again, like I've stressed enough already, be specific, be very detailed in your issues. Oh, my computer came up with a blue screen. Okay, yeah, your computer came up with a blue screen. When? Was it when you opened a program? Was it when you plugged in a device? Was it when you tried to shut down your computer or bring it out of sleep? And what was the message? Because that would be very helpful. So anyway, think of that when you're troubleshooting. When you're also troubleshooting a problem, if you get very frustrated with the problem and you can't figure it out, you're getting very frustrated or getting edgy and angry, walk away. There's been a lot of times that we've all had that happen on computers where we get irritated with it and really get mad and want to take a hammer to it, which can feel good sometimes. I've taken a hammer to a couple of electronic parts before, as you probably could see on my YouTube account, including fire and running over with the golf cart. Anyway, if you get really frustrated and are losing your patience and losing your temper, walk away from it, come back to it in a couple hours, come back to it the next day. And a lot of times you get on it the next day or in a couple hours, it'll click, you'll figure it out right away and fix the problem, move on. And also another thing with troubleshooting, don't be afraid to try stuff. Of course, don't mess up too much, but another thing is then to remember what you're changing so you can change things back if it doesn't work or negatively impact something else. And let's see, another thought with troubleshooting, I don't know if I've said this already or not, I can't remember now, but be universal. This is something that I really stress on anything with computers. It doesn't have to be troubleshooting, it can be learning a new program. Be universal. Use the knowledge you already have to solve the problem or to learn a new program, if it's a new program you're learning. But you be universal. Use what you already know. And it doesn't even have to be about computers. It can be about something else. Let's say you have an electrical problem with your computer. If you know some electronic stuff already, you know, you might be able to figure out the problem. just be universal. Use the knowledge you already have to figure something out. Big thing to me. Something I really stress, something I really believe in, and something that not everybody thinks of. Just, okay, so let's say you go from Windows XP to Windows 7. Okay. Oh no, it's new, it looks different. I'm afraid I won't touch it. Just use what you already knew on Windows XP, and it won't take you too long to get around Windows 7. Of course, there are differences and changes, but if you already knew Windows XP and you switch to Windows 7, you should, as long as you're universal, you should be able to figure it out. The start menu is still in the bottom left corner. You still have that start menu. You still have that shutdown button, the all programs, etc., etc., etc. It's still all there. It might look different, but it's still there. Just be universal. Don't be afraid of it. Yeah, that's going to be my tip, I guess, for the day. For troubleshooting. Maybe at some later point, maybe I probably will, and I'll have a week of troubleshooting where it goes more detailed as far as actual specific problems some people may have commonly, or maybe not so commonly, and I'll walk you through the steps I would take to fix the problems. But that'll be later down the road. For now, we're just doing general troubleshooting and that. Okay, so anyway, hold on. Anyway, this is Nerd Long again. My phrase of the day is search engines. Learn it, live it, love it. Yeah. Okay. Well, again, this is Nerd Long, and I approve this message. And until the next episode, goodbye.